can't tell if I'm live. Oh yeah, I'm live. So, let me just connect for a second. You know, this is scary for me to make videos like this. And I've been really resistant to it. I'm still feeling resistant right now. So let's just take some breaths. Feel free to take a couple breaths with me to connect if you'd like. I'm gonna breathe in and out. I just wanted to do a little bit of a check-in with everybody because it's been a really tough couple of days, weeks, years, but we've got a lot going on right now, and so I felt like maybe it would just be nice to have a little talk. And if you guys have questions or anything that you want to comment about, feel free to post a comment there, and if I see it, I have a funny little thing rigging up my phone right now, but if I can see your comment, I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. Right before I set up this video, I was just going through some things and I found this card from the eclipse. So we had a new moon eclipse, a full solar eclipse that went across the whole United States, and that was about 2 weeks ago on August 21st. And for everybody who witnessed that eclipse, it was huge. Big transitions and big heart openings happened for so many people. And it was definitely one of the most amazing, beautiful experiences I've had in my life. And so there's been a lot shifting since then. And now here we are in Portland, where it's raining down ashes right now. There's huge fires happening in the gorge, and many of the sacred places are burning. And so I spent a lot of time crying yesterday, and so many people are really feeling heartbroken about that. And so I just thought it was ironic. I was getting ready for this video and I found this card that I got during the eclipse, during a circle with many beautiful sisters. One of them brought these cards for us to fill out intentions, and this was the card that I chose. And I couldn't help but get teary-eyed when I read it, because on the front it says, "Thank you for keeping what is so sacred to us intact." And it's just this reminder, because this place that's on fire right now is very sacred to so many people. And you know, I have had people say, and even I've said about other places when they are on fire, oh, you know, forests are meant to burn down every so often, and maybe they're not being managed properly, and this is nature, and it's, you know, renewal, and it's good for the forest. And you know, we hear those kinds of things, and it's easy to just blow it off as something like that. But then when it's in your own sacred place, and in the forests that you've spent time praying and connecting with the earth, and it's the trees that have held you personally, you know, when they're burning, it's different. It doesn't feel just like a natural process. Of course, this fire wasn't natural. It was started by a 15-year-old boy, and that's another big energetic thing that I see happening, because there are many people who are super angry and want somebody to blame. And of course he did start the fires, but this is, you know, something so big, and so there's lots of talk about how do you punish someone who causes such, you know, huge catastrophe. And so that's a whole nother story. But this card about thank you for keeping what is so sacred to us intact kind of feels ironic, right? Like, these places aren't intact now. And I've been thinking a lot, like I always do when there's tragedy, about the bigger picture and what is it telling us? And for so many of us, it's much like a death. When somebody dies, all of a sudden you're trying to remember, when is the last time that I saw them? And what are all the memories I have with that person? And it really is this feeling of like, how can it be possible that I'll never see them again? And that's how it feels about these forests. It's kind of like, you know, like you never think when you're standing there in that trail, or you're, you know, swimming in that river and jumping off that tree into the water, or whatever you're doing, you never think that if it's not going to be there next time you go there. Or the thought that most has come up to me, there's this place called Larch Mountain where we love to go, and when you get to the top of Larch Mountain, you can look around and see like 6 different volcanoes, and it's all forest. As far as you can see is trees. You can't see any city, you can't see any cars. Even when the airplanes drive by, you can't hardly hear them. And you know, when you're at that place looking, you never think that that whole entire forest is someday not going to be there. And so I feel like that's the lesson here, is that all things are transitory. Everything is impermanent. There's nothing permanent about this human experience. It doesn't matter how permanent it feels. It doesn't matter how much it seems like it's going to be there forever. There's nothing that will be there forever. And that's part of our experience. And it's one of the hardest parts to navigate, because, you know, we're human and we don't like change, and we don't like saying goodbye, and we don't like the unknown. And so through these lessons, it opens up our hearts, and it opens up our existence to the moment that we are in, and to appreciating what we have when we have it. So to the people, you know, you see it happen all the time when somebody loses an important person in their life. Suddenly they're paying a lot more attention to those who are still there, right? At least for a little while, and then somehow our human minds forget again. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that, because it's such a big thing that's happening. And you know, it's like super hot, it's raining down ashes, the sun is like blood red in the sky, there's smoke. This isn't the only place that's on fire. The whole state of Oregon and places in California are burning, places in Montana are on fire. So there's a huge transition, and our Mama Earth is screaming and purging and clearing out so much darkness. And it's, you know, it's part of our cycle. It's part of the world cycle, and it's a challenging one. So that's what's going on right here. But also on the East Coast, there is this big, huge storm, one of the biggest hurricanes ever, headed straight towards Florida, where my sister is and where she lives. And many other people that I love and care about are there, and it's huge and scary, but it's on its way. And so there's that energy happening as well. And there was also just a big hurricane in Texas, and many people have lost their homes and are displaced by floods in Texas. And so it kind of feels like this feeling of wanting to escape. Where do I go to breathe clean air? Where do I go to get dry or to get rain? Or, you know, where can you go? And there's really this feeling of like there isn't a place that's safe. We have to go inside, and we have to connect with those that are with us to feel that sense of relief. So let's see. I also wanted to talk about well, today's the full moon, and the full moon is in Pisces. And so that is a ritual that I try to celebrate monthly, which is when we get a new moon, which was the eclipse, is when we plant seeds. So that's when we set our intentions. When we have the full moon, that's when we release. And so taking some time today to think about what has come up for you in the last 2 weeks, and what are you wanting to release with this full moon today. The full moon's in Pisces, which is our emotions. And so emotionally, are there things you're ready to let go of? Are there habits or thoughts that are keeping you held back that you're ready to let go of? And literally writing those down. Maybe you're sending them off in a letter in the river, or maybe you're taking a bath in Epsom salt and letting the salt soak whatever you're releasing away. But doing some type of ritual with water is really helpful because the moon is in Pisces today. So just taking a moment to honor the moon. Our connection with the moon has really shifted for many of us that were witness to that eclipse that happened. There's just this connection with the moon, and so when she's full, like she is today, it's a powerful illumination that happens, and we can see things that maybe we weren't seeing before, whether that's internally or externally, finding the things we're ready to release and let go of. Having to do with the fires also, I just wanted to mention about our lungs. So many people are having lung issues come up from breathing the smoke, right? So in Chinese medicine, the lung represents our place of holding grief. And so is there grief that you can let go of in this full moon? This sadness that's coming up for so many of us with the fires or the storms, and even, you know, what's happening across the country with the hurricanes and things, this grief. What is the depth of that grief? And are you letting yourself feel that grief so that it can be released? Are you letting yourself experience it? And also, what are you letting go of? If you're having lung problems, maybe there's some grief in there that you're trying not to look at, or you're trying to push away, and maybe giving witness to that grief can help you heal it from the place that it's originating from. We also have stuff going on with Korea, and I don't know a lot about what's happening, and honestly, I don't know if anyone does. And the reason I'm bringing this up really is that there is so much fear that comes along with watching the news and paying attention. There's so many people who want to feel like they're informed with what's happening, and the truth is, we never really know. And so that adds so much stress to your life. And if you have the ability to stop watching the news and stop paying attention, maybe blocking those people who are feeding that constant fear into your feed on Facebook or TV or whoever it is, if it's someone in your family, having that fear is not keeping you in a grounded place. And whatever it is going on politically, it's not helping you to be paying big attention to those things. And so I really, really recommend to everybody, just don't pay attention. If you want to know what's going on, stop, take some breaths, look out your window, look around in your community, talk to people there, and that's your reality. So let that be your reality. Don't create a reality based on the fear that's coming through the news feeds. And let's see, there was one more thing. I just really wanted to reiterate focusing on basic needs. So that means sleep. Lots of people are having trouble sleeping now, but are you at least resting? What are you doing before bed that's causing you to have a hard time with sleep? Our phones are horrible, right? We got so much more sleep before cell phones were part of our daily life like this. So how can we stop that pattern and get more sleep? Are you drinking enough water? Water is so important. We're supposed to drink half of our body weight in ounces of water every day. So are you doing that? And what is the food that you're putting in your body? Are you paying attention to that? Are you feeding yourself in a nutritious way that's helping your body stay strong and healthy? Are you loving your body? Are you exercising if you're feeling like it? Are you resting if you're feeling like it? Are you breathing? These are such simple things, but sometimes I just make a little list that says breathe, water, food, sleep. And it's as simple as that. If you can do those things and focus on those things, sometimes that's really all we need to do. I also was going to talk really quickly about solar flares. That's something I get into more in other times, but really there have been actual studies that show that our emotions and our enlightenment is connected to the solar flares and the storms that happen on the sun. And I just found it really interesting. I got acupuncture today, and I was talking to my acupuncture friend about this, how there was a really big solar flare 2 days ago, and so it's due to hit the planet tonight. And there was also a solar flare released today, and these are big radiation, you know, it causes the aurora borealis. They're big storms from the sun. And I was just thinking how interesting it is that our country is really being protected. Like, all this smoke is blocking the sun rays. That hurricane is blocking the sun rays. The storms are blocking the rays of the sun. So it's curious about, you know, these rays are not getting to us, and why are we being protected from them or blocked from them? And you know, is our enlightenment connected to the sun? I feel like it is. I believe the sun is super healing. I don't wear sunblock. I think it blocks the benefits of the sun, which is to heal us and to keep us, you know, keep our moods elevated. Are you getting enough sun? That's another question for those basic needs. And then I guess I just also wanted to say really fast that throughout all of this shifting that's happening in these big troubling times, I guess we could call them, there's this call out to be connected. And so just taking time to have that human connection with those in your community and those in your life, and, you know, hugging people when you see them and you know them, and taking time to call the people that you want to talk to, and just really building that community, because we never know what can happen. And when we have community in our lives, we have something to fall back on. And so there's this explosion of love, and we're all learning through this process, you know, of breaking hearts, to love deeper and to love bigger and to love more and to connect with the earth even more. And so that means connecting with each other even more. And so I'm just encouraging any of you that feel like you need connection to please create that connection in any way that you can, and pursue that connection, because it's so important. You know, we are here on this planet together to connect and to support each other. And with that, I just wanted to say that I still have space, my space at Luna Wellness in Portland on Thursdays, offering Reiki and energetic therapy or energetic counseling, intuitive therapy, whatever you want to call it. It's a place to come and talk, and I can look energetically at what's going on with you and help you to clear the things that are blocking you from, you know, being the person that you're wanting to be. It's a place to get support. And so on Thursdays I have space, and tomorrow I have space. So if you are getting this last minute and you would like a last minute session tomorrow, I have availability at 3:30, I believe, and 4:30. So there's that. And also I just wanted to let you, or remind you, that I'm still doing the $20 tarot readings, and that's an amazing way to kind of bring in some wisdom. And I have a card that I pulled that I'll do at the very end of this recording, which I'm almost done with. But I also just wanted to remind you that I do Akashic Records readings, and those are really big clearings where I go in and see what is blocking you, and we clear it. And it's a life-changing session that we do over the phone, and it's recorded, and then you get a 21-day prayer to help clear. And the beautiful thing with the prayer is it really brings this practice back into your life. It's not religious, but it's a spiritual practice where you're creating time and space for yourself every day for 21 days to really bring in what you're wanting to bring in, and let go of what you're letting go of. So, you know, contact me if you want information about that. And now let's see, I just wanted to show you this card, and then if anyone has any questions. I don't think I see any. Hi, all of you that are watching. I see some people there. Thanks for supporting me and my sweaty, shiny forehead. So I pulled a card right before this And I always, when I pull cards, I just say a little blessing that only love and light come through. I have several different types of tarot decks that I use. This one I used my Mana cards, which are Hawaiian wisdom. I have a serious deep love for Hawaii and Hawaiian mysticism, and so I love these cards. And so the card that I pulled today is the Pueo, which is the owl. And so with this card, basically what the message is that it's saying it may appear to warn you that if you've been overlooking your obligation to develop a special talent or ability, you may be in danger of losing it. If you've been putting off seeking the wisdom or the guidance of a teacher or a healer, that would be me, maybe, if you're called to work with me, now is the time to stop doing so. But really, the message is that so many of us are awakening to gifts that we have, and awakening to abilities that we have, and awakening to ways that we can show more love for the world and support those around us, or people that are doing these corporate jobs that can't handle it anymore. They don't want to be wasting their precious life, you know, doing whatever they're doing, and they're feeling called to do whatever it is, whether it's, you know, working with kids or writing poetry or doing art or whatever your calling with your heart is. This is a card to remind you to listen to that and to do it, because now is the time. We need you. The world needs you. People need your gifts. And so stop doubting yourself. Stop making excuses. And that's why I'm doing this video, even though it's super challenging for me to just put myself out there like this. It's time to just get out there. Don't be afraid and do it. And there's nobody else on this planet like you that can offer what you have to offer. And so that's what Pueo is telling you, is to take those gifts and put them out there into this world. So with that, I am sending huge love and gratitude to all of those who are out there fighting fires, and to all of those who are out there volunteering and helping in Texas, and all of those in Florida and on the islands. You know, Puerto Rico's getting ready to get pounded, I believe. All Cuba, Florida, I guess maybe they don't know exactly where it's going, but there's big storms. And so my prayers are going out to all of those people who are preparing for that to hunker down, and to all those who are helping in any way, wherever you are, just to be honest and authentic and share your love. And feel free to share this video. My Facebook page does list a lot of the services that I have to offer, so I really appreciate any support with my work. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to send me messages here on Facebook or text me on the phone. I'm here, and I'm human just like you, and I'm going through all of this with the rest of us. So I'm happy to support and love you all, and I'm happy to receive your love and support also. So thank you for taking the time to watch all of this, and I'm here. I'll make another video soon about something else, so take care.